Yeesh, my condolences, pal. I see your cleaning lady died.
Yeah, she set foot in the bedroom once. I haven't seen her since. I didn't dare to go after her.
Oh, I wouldn't want to go in there either. But what's that smell?
Cigarettes and whiskey.
Yeah, with a hint of dirty laundry, but no, this is lavender?
Ah, that. Now, that's got to be the Ibanez dame. You know, the broad who gave me the letter. And the job, obviously.
Ah, pretty, huh? I can smell it. She's an exotic, too. An impala, maybe?
Furry hell. That's why Chief Inspector Bloodboil hates you so much. He's jealous because your nose is better than a clucking bloodhound's.
The bitter old dog. He just hates all foul.
True. Except for Monica.
Monica's a fairy, not a bird. So, what now?
Well, let's gather my stuff and head to the club. We gotta find out who this Natasha is and what she wants from us. I mean, what she really wants.
After you, Boss Bird. I wouldn't like to touch anything in here anyway. If it's okay, I'll just stand around and stare out the window.
Sure, just do it quietly. Midnight had passed, and the intoxicated madness kicked in. We could only crawl along Shalva District's main street toward downtown. The city's heart beat differently. Ancient buildings were defaced by neon signs and billboards, like half-drunk lovers on a fine leather sofa. Great old houses neighbored by garish modern blocks. A place that makes the head hurt. The Tsar's huge neon sign was visible for miles. A blazing red sign advertised tonight's main attraction, the amazing Natasha. Cops were never welcomed at places like this. I hoped we were too late for the show. We had to be inconspicuous, but it was never easy with this bird mountain by my side.
Ah, so this is the famous Tsar Club.
More like infamous, Marty. It's not for our kind, that's for sure. And I don't mean that they don't like foul here.
Well, at least we don't have to be afraid that they see you as a detective, Boss Bird.
Very funny, Marty.
So what are we gonna do now?
We find Natasha, the broad who sent me the message, remember? But first, we need to get into the club. And Marty, please, don't monkey this up.
Excuse me? On behalf of the well-respected and noble primate community of Clawville?
Cut the crap, Marty. Let's focus on what we're here for, okay?
As you say, Boss Bird. Hey, that's your old friend, right? Wait, what was his name? Lawrence? Lamar? No, Liam.
Lewis. Yes, it's him.
To be honest, Sonny, I always thought that guy's not all there in the head.
Nobody's perfectly sane in Clawville, Marty. But if not for this old rabbit, I wouldn't be here today. I'll never forget that.
Should I thank him for that?
Or kill him for it.
You're reading my mind, boss.
Sonny, my dear friend.
Hi, Lewis. This is my partner. But I'm sure you already know.
You have no idea how happy I am to meet you, Mr. Marty. I'm a big admirer of your work.
Pleasure's all mine, Lawrence.
Lawrence? Anyways, so, the legendary chicken police back together? Isn't it amazing news?
Don't ruffle my feathers, Lewis. Those days are long gone. We're just here for the entertainment. Or something like that.
I see. Well, that's a shame.
See you inside?
I have something to do, my pal, but I'll try to make it for the main event.
Okay then. Catch you later, pal.
Honestly, I think these types of women only see faceless tuxedos, cufflinks, and wallets. And in the mirror, they're just brooches, necklaces, and earrings.
Don't be so radical, Marty. They're women. They live by different rules.
That was kinda deep.
It's not. Just bullshit. There's more where that came from.
Ooh, teach me, master.
When you're old and wise like me, you'll realize none of it is worth a damn thing.
Wait, that was deep again, right?
Maybe it was, Marty. Maybe it was.
Amazing.
Let's not bother her.
Okay, boss. You know, seeing this, I can't wait for the show.
The girls?
New Year's Eve's once a year, right? And we're not on duty.
Have I asked how Laura's doing?
Whoa, hey, I was just kidding, okay? My relationship with Laura is unwavering, like the rhino beauty on this picture.
Interesting taste you've got.
Feathers, scales, or dermal armor, a lady's a lady, my friend.
Thank the wild gods for self-sacrificing gentlemen like you.
Do you remember when the Clawville Chronicle was a really high-quality newspaper?
You mean when they wrote something about us daily?
Yeah. What exactly happened to them?
Well, they got bored with us, Marty. And to be honest, so did I.
But still, here we are working together again. Funny, huh?
Yeah, hilarious.
Huh, I like this.
Why's that?
I don't know. 'Cause it's moving, I guess.
You're a simple bird, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Whoa, look at that. Isn't that the new...
It is, Marty. A brand new 942 Silver Hawk. Haven't seen such beauty since I left Averia.
Of all that's furry, whose is it?
Maybe it's Ibn Wessler's. I guess he's no paper tiger.
Yeah, he sounds like a fellow who drives around in one of these. Lucky bastard. One day, neon signs will cover the whole world, I'm telling you.
You read that in some kind of science fiction book?
No, it's just what I think.
Oh, so you have your own thoughts now. The world's really moving forward.
Pluck off, Sonny. Jeez, look at that guy.
That's not a guy. That's a demon. Straight from the dog-eared pages of a cheap detective novel.
Yeah, I bet his name's Bill.
Nah, he's definitely a Bob.
$5 for Bill?
Okay, I'm in. Howdy, pal.
Gentlemen, how can I help you on this wonderful, chilly night?
We're expected in the VIP lounge.
My apologies, but I don't remember ever seeing you gentlemen here before. May I ask?
Stop right there, big guy. I get it. Yeah, I know exactly how this works. So what do you have to do to get in?
Nothing's easier, sir. Are you on the list?
The list? Yeah,
Don't tell me you forgot.
I'm afraid I did, Marty. Sorry, big guy, but I'm pretty sure we're not on the list tonight.
That's a shame. I'm really sorry, sirs. In that case, you can't come in.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
My pleasure, gentlemen.
Say, big guy, you know Mr. Lewis Hayworth?
But of course, Mr. Hayworth is an impeccable gentleman, and also a frequent visitor of the club.
Is that so? Good to know. And?
I'm afraid that is all, monsieur.
What can you tell me about the first lady of the place, big guy?
You mean Miss Natasha Koshenko, sir?
You're right on point, pal.
Nothing you don't know already, sir.
Just try me.
Well, she owns the place.
And, that's it? Well, that's, unbelievable.
Pardon, monsieur, but I'm not permitted to say anything more.
Look, I really don't want any trouble, but...
It is even more inconvenient for me, sir, but this place doesn't like, coppers. Forgive this slang. I can't let just anybody in, and there are some I'm strictly forbidden to. Please, you have to understand.
Listen here, you cow. Do you have any idea who we are? You ever read the papers?
Of course, I know who you are, sir. I read the news and more, and I must admit it's an honor to meet you in person, Mr. Santino Featherland and Mr. Marty Machikin. The Bell of the Pantheress is one of my favorite books.
Oh my god, not the books again.
So it would be terribly inconvenient for me if I had to use force on you, gentlemen.
What did you just say?
Relax, Marty. This guy has chicks like you for breakfast. Thanks for the information, pal. Have a nice night.
Thank you for understanding, gentlemen, and forgive me for my austere composition.
No problem, Shakespeare. That fella's built like a brick shithouse. I don't think we'll be able to just sneak past him.
Wanna bet?
Not today, Marty. Remember, we must avoid suspicion.
Okay. No trouble. I get it. It's okay, Bertha. Maybe next time.
What was that?
Nothing. Just the wind.
Did you bring Big Bertha with you?
Gods, no. What are you thinking? What idiot would bring a shotgun to a club?
Was that a rhetorical question? Look, Lewis, that bouncer over there.
Well, yes. He is a bit intimidating, but his manners are impeccable. Am I right?
Yes, indeed, but it seems tonight we're not on his list.
Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. You'd like to go in, but he won't let you.
Yeah, something like that.
No problem at all. Come with me. I'll talk to him.
Much obliged, pal.
Yeah, thanks, Bunny.
Excuse me.
Ah, jeez, what the hell's wrong with you, Marty?
What? Did I say something wrong?
Sir, how'd you do?
Everything's fine, Mr. Hayworth.
Good. Look, this noble pair of pigeons are my friends. They're on the list, okay?
L'argent, sir.
And as for you, you owe me one, gentlemen.
Thanks, old pal.
It was my pleasure to help you, as always.
The jazz overwhelmed us. There was no band in sight, yet the music seeped from the walls like years of cigarette smoke and the smell of spilt whiskey. Behind the bar, rows of fancy bottles reflected the harmonious voices of pretty dames and the clinking of crystal glass. It was the kind of place that makes you drunk, even if you've never had a sip. A dangerous place for someone like me. No matter how alien I felt, it was strangely like coming home. Welcome to the Czar. Well, here we are.
Mother of...
I take you to the nicest places, eh, sweetheart?
Oh, does it mean you're buying, honey?
Don't even think about it.
Oh, men these days. So, we're here to find a dame called Natasha.
I have a hunch she won't be hard to find. Let's mingle and try to avoid suspicion.
Just like always.
No, Marty, not like always. This time it's for real. Huh. Another Lupus movie. Jeez. Is there nothing today they're not trying to sell with this guy?
Whoa, don't be rude, Sonny. Lupus is a timeless genius. Have you seen Predator City? God, I'm still getting chicken bumps. But wait, who's that next to him?
Cassandra Ruby Faye. Nah, never heard of her.
Cassandra Ruby Faye. Oh, gods, even her name makes me go weak in the knees.
Watch your blood pressure, pal.
Don't mind me, just women and guns are my only weakness.
Huh, no shit. This guy is certainly not a gangster henchman.
Of course he's not.
I was hoping to have missed the main event.
You're a rusty old cock, that's why.
So says the little butt jam.
But what? That's not even a word.
It is now, all because of you. You should feel honored. Butt jam.
You know, Sonny, sometimes you're like an evil little child. A fox is a wolf who sends flowers.
What?
Oh, nothing. I read it somewhere.
Fascinating. I didn't know you could read.
Ha ha ha. Very funny.
So, where the hell is Natasha?
Let's ask that stud over there with those nice gals.
That guy looks way too horny for my taste.
Oh man, your sense of humor is bad as ever.
You just need to get used to it again.
What if, Look, Sonny, I know it's not my place, but Laura's father went to that guy when his, problems had gone too far.
You're treading on thin ice, Marty.
No, I just... Look, fellas at the station are talking, you know? All kinds of things. Moses, Plato, Bosco, and the others.
Talking, eh? About what? About why Blood Boil took my badge? About what an untrustworthy alcoholic wreck I am?
Look, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter.
Good, and let it stay that way.
At least we're cracking this one together, yeah?
Sure, Marty.
Hey, there's Fillmar.
Who? Oh, yes, Fillmar. Because that's what he calls himself, right?
You know him well?
We had some seriously wild cases together, yes. Mainly in Averia, way before Clawville. Another place and another life.
Sounds good. Like the blurb of some cheap pulp fiction book.
Yeah, it was the exact opposite. But the old bird's worth saying hi to. Well, well, if it isn't the great detective, Marlowe.
Blow me, Sonny. You know I don't use that name anymore.
Okay, Mr. Dumbass alias Fillmar Lowe.
So says someone who tried to go undercover with the Feather Pillow Mafia is a turkey. Right, Mr. Turk Cayman?
Hey, that was a long time ago. I was young.
And I stick to my principles and my stupidity. Phil Marlowe, and that's that. Don't rile me up, you old fart.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I'm a little clucked tonight.
I know the feeling, pal. By the way, what are you two doing here? You stick out a bit. Are you here for a good old-fashioned beating?
We stick out. Man, you look terrible. Like someone who sat on an electric pole.
Don't even ask. I feel exactly like that.
You want a case?
5 feet tall, half of that legs. Angelic voice, demonic eyes, just the usual.
Oh, boy.
And you?
Something like that. Just don't know the exact numbers yet. A dame named Natasha. She called us here. If I'm not mistaken, the joint is hers.
Yeah, she owns the joint, amongst others. Well, good luck, guys. That broad has a reputation. She's not the kind to toy with, if you know what I mean.
Any useful information?
For free?
Stop clucking around, Philmar.
All right, but just because of the old days. Look for me after you've talked to her. You wouldn't understand what I have to say about her before then. Don't leave unless you're thrown out, in which case, you know the drill. We don't know each other, I'll deny you in a blink.
Good to see you too, old pal. We'll be back. Come to daddy, darling.
Calling booze darling, it's kind of weird, don't you think?
Says someone who calls his gun collection his harem.
Touche. I'll shut it.
Good birdie. Two whiskeys, kid, and no horsing around.
I've never heard that one before. Sonny, you gotta drive, you know?
Yeah, you're right, Marty. Hey, Longface, give me a glass of tap water too, okay?
Yes, sir. Coming right up. That wasn't exactly what I meant.
Tell me, hey Breath, have you seen Natasha tonight?
Not yet, sir. But she's coming on soon.
Well, can you tell me anything about Mr. Ibn Wessler?
Sir, I don't want to.
What about, let's see, $5 maybe?
But, sir, you haven't even paid for your drinks yet. Yeah, stop riding on the details, Big Nose. You do your job, and we'll do ours, okay?
I mean, we're not here for work, of course. We're just here to relax.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Just a little fun. Of course, gentlemen. She has pretty long legs. I mean, pretty and long legs for a squirrel, but I don't want to be prejudiced.
We're not here to stare at pretty squirrels. We're here to investigate, remember?
Isn't that?
Yes, it is. The great Ibn Wessler, in the flesh. So much for our incognito.
You think he noticed us?
Only if he's not entirely blind.
Great.
Just act nonchalant, my friend.
No, it can't be.
What now?
Is that Olivia?
No, Marty.
Hey, Olivia.
Are you talking to me?
It's me, Marty McChicken.
Oh, God.
What a pleasant surprise. The roaster copper's in person.
Chicken police. But yeah, Mr. Wessler, you could say so. The name's...
Sunny Featherland, of course, of course. Chicken police. Your partner is, he is,
Marty McChicken, sir. I just introduced myself to your lady companion seconds ago.
Oh yeah. I'm so happy to see you.
Hello, boys.
So, to what do we owe this pleasure, gentlemen?
Yeah, so, we were, just in the neighborhood, and...
Cut the crap, Marty. All right, we're here for your sweetheart, Natasha.
Oh, I see.
No big deal. Just a blackmail thing. You know, horrifying threats written on the wall with blood-red paint. The usual stuff. You must be familiar with this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, indeed. It's, nasty business. But I didn't know Natasha hired a detective because of this simple matter, but to be honest, I understand. I would have taken matters into my own hands, you see. But I'm kind of busy.
Mr. Wessler had a meeting with Attorney General Hamtaro yesterday, so he's rather tired. If you would excuse us.
Oh, dear Olivia, it's okay. These gentlemen are just doing their job, right? And if I've heard correctly, they're notoriously thorough. So, how can I help you?
We've got a few questions, if you don't mind.
I'm at your service.
Nice bunker you got here.
Well, thank you, but it's not mine. Not anymore. But I'm sure you already know that. Listen, detective. If you want to know something, please ask straight, huh?
All right, Mr. Wessler, let's make this a bit more professional.
Look, detective. If you want to know something, just ask.
All right, Mr. Wessler. Has your assistant been working for you long?
Are you talking about me?
Yes, I'm talking about you, ma'am.
Let me answer your question then. I've been in Mr. Wessler's employment for 6 months. Why do you ask?
Oh, just routine questioning, you know. Most of them aren't good for anything. Just killing time.
It sounded rude to me.
Yeah, please forgive a detective. Olivia's a real firecracker. I'm not as exciting as people tend to believe. I grew up in a poor family of many siblings. I'm the only one still alive, unfortunately. My career started with a shoe store, and now, here I am.
I wouldn't call that an average life. Shoe store owner to mob boss.
How dare you speak to Mr. Wessler like that?
Leave it, Olivia, dear. It's just provocation.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Mr. Wessler. Shall we talk about something else?
Everybody knows Mr. Hayworth. He's an antique piece of furniture in this city, so to speak.
Only a bit worn out.
It's not my fault that he's so much in debt, detective, but the name of his family still rings quite loud in Clawville.
Is that still worth anything?
The name is just their name, of course, but the man behind the name is another matter, Mr. Featherland.
You're a pragmatic rat.
Thank you.
Wessler's a tricky guy. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about him, so I have to be... How did you feel when you heard about the blackmail?
Honestly, I found it ridiculous.
And now?
Now I'm kinda interested. But I wouldn't call it blackmail yet. They're just empty threats. There were no demands.
Good point.
Thank you. Are we done?
No, not quite.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Why didn't you just call the police?
Huh? Why? What would have been the use of that? A few messages aren't enough for a case. You should know that.
Harassment makes for a case. So do threats.
Who were you trying to convince, Sonny? Huh? They would have laughed in my face. Anyway, you know, the police station. Once I set foot in there, I'm not coming out again.
Your lawyers are too good for that, Ibn.
Yeah, I guess you're right, chicken.
Why would anyone have reason to blackmail your girlfriend?
I don't know, maybe because she's my girlfriend?
You think that's enough?
It's plenty enough.
Good point.
Oh, are you finally getting to a point? Or do you really want to dig around in my private life? Because, people who do that end up in the alley, if you catch my drift.
Very much so, Mr. Wessler. Wessler is tougher than I thought, and he's secretive. It's time to gently beat around the bush. Don't you find these messages dangerous?
That specific word is, it's insulting and obscene, and unfortunately, everyone could see it on the street. I'm sure you know they painted it on the wall.
I know.
Well, yeah, it's unpleasant but no threat in itself. I put it down to some jealous showgirl or a deluded fan. Nothing more.
Jealousy can be dangerous.
Yeah, most crazies are harmless.
You know that firsthand?
Anything else?
Start talking straight, Wessler. There's no point in wasting each other's time.
You know what? You're right. And there's no point in spoiling my mood, is there? Olivia will show you out, but if you insist, yeah, I can give you an alternative escort. Is that straight enough for you?
Nice one, Sonny. Indeed, Mr. Wessler. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Don't be so cocky, copper. It can be dangerous at your age.
Business going well, Mr. Wessler?
Depends on which one.
Real estate, catering, charity, protection, extortion, bribing cops, contraband, the usual.
Funny guy.
How are the casinos?
Fine, thank you. Yeah, gambling has always been a good business. Luck is expensive around here.
Damn, if only I knew that. I heard gambling was illegal.
And I've heard you're not on the force at the moment.
Then it seems we have a fair fight.
On uneven ground, Mr. Featherland. I'm not sure I'd stand on it for long, if I were you.
That was candid.
Yeah, I try to be clear.
Is everything all right between you and Natasha?
Yeah, you don't beat around the bush, do you? Understandable, I guess. Naturally, our relationship is stable and perfect. I'm the setting, she's the gemstone. Yeah, if you know what I mean.
I rarely hear such poetry, but I understand exactly what you mean, Mr. Wessler.
So, you have your answer.
No recent friction?
Wouldn't you like to know?
It would make my job easier.
Yeah, it would only lead you astray. So be glad that I tell you no. No friction.
Ibn is quick-tempered, and I can use that to my advantage. I've confounded and softened him with my previous questions. Now it's time to be specific and ruthless. Have there been similar threats in the past?
Right to the point, yeah? Yeah, I get it. But sadly, this is a dead end, my friend. No threats like these, whether you believe it or not.
Well, it really seems like a dead end, so I'll just back up and try from a different angle.
You do that.
The mob boss and the pussycat, eh? How did you even meet?
Huh? Are you trying to piss me off, Corpora, so I accidentally let some big secret slip out, huh?
A simple answer would work.
You know, Natasha, she's both connoisseur and muse, So, how was it, when was it exactly?
You don't remember? That's strange.
Ah, yeah, the Millions, of course. It was like another lifetime. It happened right here, only this place was called the Millions back then. She was a dancer. Behind the scenes, I arranged opportunities for her on the big stage. Yeah, maybe she still doesn't know it was me. Then one day, I invited her for a drink with a promise that if she was willing to meet me, I'd buy the place for her.
I guess she was willing.
The next day, she had the club in her name.
Well, that is romantic.
Yeah, there are many kinds of romance, Birdman. There's cheap and there's expensive. You get what you can afford.
Do you live in the same house as Natasha?
Oh, you're really something. Natasha's a free woman, but mostly, yeah, at my place in Gold Town. But she has her own kind of a weekend house.
How often does she use the weekend house?
Yeah, every other weekend, roughly.
I see. That's very important information.
Yeah, if you say so.
So Natasha feels like she's in grave danger, yet she's still going out alone.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at, but I'm 100% sure of her loyalty. She's gone out very rarely since this started, and mostly in my company. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure if you do, but in our social circles, banquets and dinners are frequent.
Illegal gambling nights.
You got me there. Yeah, you're right. Natasha is crazy about the roulette wheel.
Always putting it all on the red, right?
Yeah, you're a real rotten bastard, Sonny. Although, yeah, always on the red. Yeah, right.
So, can we meet your lady?
I don't see why not. But first, please, listen to her sing. She's on soon.
Thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you.
I have no doubt about that, unfortunately.
Hey, we should grab a coffee or something, Olivia. You know, for old time's sake.
Pleasure to meet you, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Oh.
Please, take a seat. The show's gonna start soon.
Sonny. Sonny.
Say, Chloe's still lying in my bed, and it's dead.
That was, unique.
Oh, that is cute. Nobody has ever given me such a unique compliment before.
Forgive me, my name is Santino Featherland.
I thought so. You look more or less like I imagined.
More or less.
Sometimes less is more, Mr. Featherland.
You were amazing, dear, as always.
Could you be my little furball and fetch me a cocktail?
But of course.
Ibn will be back soon. We'll have a few minutes to talk. Then he'll end the conversation and throw you both out.
With all due respect, ma'am, we're not that easy to get rid of. Doesn't matter who's trying, believe me.
Doesn't matter, he'll do it. That's why I'm telling you. I don't want a scene. My room's upstairs. Meet me there in 20 minutes. Come alone, Sonny. You'd be too conspicuous otherwise.
Hey,
I understand. You know, they call him Target Marty at the station.
I don't have time, Mr. Featherland.
Sure thing, Natasha. I'll come to your room. 3 knocks, a short pause, then another 3.
I'll be waiting. Go, before he comes back.
I knew she was trouble the first time I saw her. She wore danger like a perfume. It was simply part of her being, and it attracted me, like light attracts the moth people. I wanted to be the microphone as she whispers her melodies, or the pillow she rests her feet on while reading some cheap romance. I wanted to be her nightdress, barely touching, barely covering her marble skin. But I was a cop, and a lifetime wouldn't be enough to rid myself of what a woman like her hides under her makeup. Keep your distance, Sonny. Just keep your distance. Gee, that is a unique picture, and kind of daring. I admit I've never seen anything quite like it before.
Yes, I admit it's a little daring. I keep it. It evokes good memories. A precious old friend of mine. A most wonderful artist.
He's got an eye, that's for sure, considering his model.
Was that supposed to be some kind of compliment?
I don't know. I don't compliment often. Not on purpose, anyway.
Oh, you're funny.
I bet you spend a lot of your time staring into the mirror. Do you even recognize yourself?
Maybe you were trying to be rude, but, you know, that's a very good question.
I was just trying to be rude.
Oh, really? Well, then I'm sorry.
Don't mention it. This woman's aware of her charm, and she knows how to use it. A rare and dangerous combination.
How do you like your bourbon, Mr. Featherland?
In a glass. But thanks, I had a couple before I came. I feel like this may be a long night.
I hope it doesn't bother you if I have one myself.
I get offended if women don't drink in my company.
Oh, you are a funny guy.
So I've been told. Anyway, lovely room.
Yes. Look, Mr. Featherland.
It's sunny. Saves us a lot of time.
Okay, Sonny.
So, why am I here?
You know, men tend to babble in my presence.
It must be exhausting.
It is. But you're not the type to beat around the bush.
Is it too banal if I tell you it's an occupational hazard?
Terribly.
So can I start the unpleasant questions?
I've asked you here so you can do what you do best.
Really? I thought you asked because you wanted me to investigate for you. But if you'd rather be drinking...
Oh, you do have a sense of humor. How reassuring.
Only if I'm a bit hungover. That's usually quite common.
Oh, please drop the act about being the alcoholic, heartbroken ex-cop, Sonny. It would undoubtedly suit you, but I've seen you scanning my room. From the second you set foot in here, you started working, and everything I say gets sorted in your brain. Am I right?
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's something like that.
Well then, Sonny, come at me.
Oh, that's something I don't hear often. With pleasure. Seriously, how did you find me? Not even my boss knows where I live.
Although I didn't include Ibn in my little private mission, some of his resources were still available to me.
Yeah, let me guess. There's someone at the station working for him.
Someone? You're so cute when you're playing naive.
Have you ever had dealings with the police?
Not in this city.
And otherwise?
Does it really matter, Mr. Featherland?
Maybe it does. More than a little.
I'm afraid you'll have to unravel that thread yourself. But you will find nothing but a dead end.
Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that. But I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger. That was a remarkable performance.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Sadly, I don't have the time. But this stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song.
So that was all the excitement.
I have many admirers, if that's what you mean. Yes.
The place is very elegant, and so's your room.
Why, thank you.
I kind of feel like I'm in a museum.
Well, that depends on the kind of museum.
The kind with nice things.
Oh,
Suspiciously nice things, just like you.
do you think I'm suspicious?
We'll see about that.
Try me.
Do you think one of your admirers might be behind the threats?
Those who admire me usually idolize me. No, I don't think it's one of them.
You know, the soul of an animal is extremely complicated. Sometimes all it takes is a bad look or some small rejection to turn admiration into hate.
That's a stillborn theory. No one hates me if they once loved me, Mr. Detective.
Ah, I see. Do you have any material evidence concerning the threats?
You may think I'm irresponsible, but I didn't keep any of it. I simply couldn't bear to look at them.
Didn't you think maybe the police would need it?
I didn't think I needed the police. Moreover, do you think the girlfriend of Ibn Wessler could ever turn to the cops?
I see. So, what about me? How do I come into the picture?
It sounds ridiculous, but you're my last hope.
That does sound ridiculous, but I accept. My ego and old habits.
You can't do anything else, can you?
Something like that. A leopard can't change its spots. Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know. What was in those threats, exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
So,
You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me?
I guess I do. Yes, I think I know what it could be.
Whore. Cat got your tongue? Am I right? You heard it. I said what you were thinking. And yes, that was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall in giant red letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty. No one's ever seen the culprit? Not even a shadow?
That's one of the most curious things. Eben has men everywhere, literally, my shadows, ghosts in every alley. But no one saw anything.
One of them could be the culprit.
Eben pays his animals well, and he's the most dangerous man in the city. A combination that nullifies your theory, I believe?
Maybe, ma'am. Love is capable of insane miracles and miraculous insanity.
What poetry. Did you ever think about writing a book?
Never. I'm afraid I'd learn too much about myself.
Maybe that's the point. I would read about you. Not like the chicken police Pulp Fiction.
Furry hell. Do you read that trash?
Like everyone else in the city.
Oh, great.
I think it's flattering, even as badly written tales of heroes in the gutter.
You enjoy it?
Oh, just a little, Sonny. Just a little.
A dark shadow from the past? An ex-lover? A husband, maybe?
I'm surprised you asked that just now.
Well, I have my habits. Some call my methods peculiar.
What a curious way to put it.
I'm a curious kind of fellow. So?
I've never been married, and I don't really have any serious relationship before Hobart.
A more dangerous, not serious relationship, maybe?
I've never been with anyone long enough for them to hate me.
Love is just another face of hate.
So is hate a face of love, then?
I guess. Were you on the run?
No, Mr. Featherland. I came to Clawville with a clean slate, and I'd like to believe it will stay that way.
You mean as the girlfriend of Ibn Wessler, the biggest mob boss in Clawville? Yeah, good luck with that. Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here. Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you, no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator, or you're really that desperate.
I really know her. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse, too? Forgive me, but I don't think so.
Don't be rude and so cynical, Sonny.
I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat.
Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this, but I knew that if I didn't mention it to you, you wouldn't have come.
Yeah, Natasha, you're right there.
I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for.
Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work.
Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this.
You're right, you shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Really?
I did. I knew. I checked you out before I sent Deborah.
Pluck me. This case is getting more and more intriguing. What exactly do you want from me?
You are really as good as they say you are. And I'm not selling lucky dips, Sonny. Find them, whoever they are, and...
Whatever it takes?
Not exactly, but something like that.
You know, if I didn't see the speck of fear behind the confidence shining in your eyes, I wouldn't take the case.
I'm not afraid.
You're terrified, Natasha. Don't be ashamed.
You must solve this. As soon as you can. Money's not an issue. Just one more thing, Sonny.
Natasha?
Please, come to 37 Rochester Street in Flowertown tonight. I'd like to show you something that could be of a great help in your investigation.
I was afraid this was coming. Why there? Why not here and now?
It's something I keep hidden there. I won't take the risk of Ibn or one of his men seeing it.
Isn't Ibn too dangerous to keep secrets from?
Sonny, a woman is naked without her secrets. I knew you would understand.
Oh yeah, I understand everything. So, when do we meet? The night is almost over.
I'll be there in an hour. Don't be early, and don't be too late.
Look, Natasha, you know...
Please, this is very important to me.
Sure, I get it. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Until later, Natasha.
Goodbye, Sonny.
Well,
Weren't you supposed to be waiting in the car?
I was bored to tears, Sonny. I also thought maybe something happened to you.
You thought Natasha had eaten me alive, huh?
Well, who knows? You're such a fragile little thing.
I'm too old for this, Marty.
Then next time, leave the dangerous predators to me.
I didn't mean that, Marty. I meant you.
Oh.
So, have you talked to Natasha?
In fact, yes. She was, kind of mysterious.
I bet she was. You know, I've never abandoned a case before. Not voluntarily, anyway. But that woman...
You're, too old for this shit, huh?
As you say, pal.
That's exactly how I felt, too.
Before you leave, take this and examine it closely.
What is it?
The reason I've decided all of this is not worth it for me.
Wow, that sounds encouraging.
Take care of yourselves, guys. This case, maybe it goes deeper than you'd think.
Oh, that makes my feathers stand on end.
Ah, old croakers. You're safe while I'm here. Okay, I didn't say anything.
The truth is, Ibn's a dirty bastard, but he's likable. It must be his charisma that snared Natasha.
Maybe there's more to it than simple wild love.
Who knows? Animals commit the dirtiest of deeds for wild love.
You've got a point.
Wonderful girl. Either I'm gonna kill her or I'm beginning to like her.
That's funny. I swear I've heard that before.
To be honest, me too.
So, Natasha invited us to her weekend house.
That's either very good news or very bad news.
50%. That's not that bad, is it?
That's an admirable attitude.
Attitude, yeah, he's got that. Most of the time, I think that's all he's got.
Hey.
Who is this woman anyway? She's like Ibn's shadow. Nobody knows anything about her.
I don't know if she has anything to do with the case, but it's worth keeping an eye on her anyway.
More women, more trouble.
You already fantasizing.
Even the sight of young women make me tired. Anyway, most people say she's the rat's lover too. But next to Natasha, I doubt he'd want her. Anyway, the pussycat would have already torn her to shreds.
Could be. We stepped into it, didn't we? Of all that's furry, what kind of a list is this?
Exactly. I have no idea, but I don't even want to find out.
Those names, all top dogs. Maybe they play cards together.
Sure, that's very likely. Anyway, I pried this list out of a dead man's hand. Somebody dropped him outside the forest, a few miles from the Wessler residence.
I should have known she was keeping secrets.
Keeping secrets? She's the secret herself.
Thanks, Filmar. This could be important.
Don't thank me. Maybe I've just signed your death warrant.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Ah, shut up, Marty.